Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rina the Wolf, and today, as I promised in the previous video, I will talk about why I have not moved to another country yet. So, if you watched the previous video in which I actually whined about how LGBTQIA plus life sucks in my country, there is like a huge question, right? Like, why haven't I moved yet? And it is going to be hard, oh my god, again, to talk about it, trying not to villainize others. It's hard, but I'm just going to say the truth. So, moving abroad is still a thing, is still a plan, is still a dream. But what happened in the past few years and why couldn't I move? It's simple. So, first of all, I was already like 24 by the time I finished university. And then I started working. I hated my first full-time job. Then I was out of a job for a long time. Then I found my job. But to be completely honest, for a good while, I actually decided not to move. I would just, save up some money because I definitely could not go without nothing, right? So then I had my second full-time job for about half a year, maybe a little bit more. And then that was when I moved to the capital city in the summer of 2018. So I was already 26. And then for a long time, I felt absolutely content with my life. I had some new challenges, new career paths. I was happy in the big city. Things like that, yeah? So everything seemed to be okay. I did not feel the urge to move anymore. LGBTQIA plus life was slightly better in the capital city than in the eastern part. So for a long time, I was like, yeah, I don't need to do that, right? But then I just realized a couple of months later, most probably in the year 2020, that I was just not happy here, that I could not identify as a Hungarian person because I did not feel like I could relate to the way Hungarians saw the word. Well, it's actually hard to define what I want to say, but a lot of Hungarians are still really, really, well, definitely don't believe in liberal views. And when I say this, I don't just mean like accepting my community. They feel like the rest of the world might be the enemy. And it's exaggerated, but what I realized, especially after I started to work more and more with foreigners, the thing I realized that Hungarians are generally depressed. They love complaining about their lives. They kind of have this I hate everyone attitude, which is a little bit exaggerated, but if you meet like an average Hungarian person, prepare yourself because you will need to listen to their troubles. Or just they keep complaining minutes straight. And after a while, I just realized that I was caught up in this mentality and I didn't like it. And the more time I spent with Hungarian people, the more depressed I started feeling. So I really loved when I was in a multicultural environment, and that helped me a lot. Speaking English all day long also helped me a lot, just to change my mentality about this whole thing. I was still angry a little bit because that's what I brought from the eastern part. That is my Hungarian heritage. And all this bitterness and anger was just bottled up in me. And I kept poisoning myself from the inside. So, as far as I could get into an environment and I could surround myself with people who were much more understanding, much more accepting, much more open, I started to feel better. And all that bottled up anger and bitterness just started to evaporate, per se. And I started to feel better. I started to have plans like move abroad. And for a long, long time, moving to Los Angeles was my dream. But then, COVID started, and then I was like, yeah, maybe after COVID passes. But that was a dream. I first started thinking about moving abroad was in 2014, and at first I still just wanted to go to the US, to the West Coast, to LA. Let's be honest, I wanted to go to LA. Back in the 2010s, everything was about the lesbians of Los Angeles to me. I don't know why I was obsessed. I actually do have some ideas. But yeah, that was my life back then. And I wanted to go. Then I stayed because a friend told me that they wanted me to stay. Then I was just like, yeah, maybe, but I'm definitely not happy. And then I was like, maybe I should not go that far. Like, the US is so far away, right? It takes a lot of time to get there. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I could move to the UK, no biggie. And I started thinking about moving near London. Now, if you don't know this, London is really, really expensive. And then I thought about moving to Ireland, which is also very expensive. And then I decided that I wanted to move to Scotland because, it's still green, very, very green, and much cheaper than England. Anyway, time kept passing by, so I moved to the capital city. Already 4 years had passed, and I started to feel like Budapest would be enough for me. And then I completely brushed it aside. I felt somewhat content with my life of the time. I advanced in my career. And then we had the lockdown, and I had a girlfriend who did not want to move. 1 year later, we did break up, and I still wanted to move. I was still saving up some money. And there is the thing. Like, in the end, she said, okay. But even though that after a while she started working, she did not earn a lot of money. And I was like, okay, so I can pay for some of your expenses. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, no worries. Truth was, it was not okay because she could save up money, and this way I couldn't. Anyway, after about a year, we did break up. She did. And I got into another relationship. So we are already in 2021. And I kept bugging my girlfriend of the time to move abroad. And first she was like, yeah, I don't speak English, but I can learn. She was willing to do it at first. I also went as far as to pay for her English classes. And I felt like I wanted to move to LA again, but she was on good terms with her mom, okay? So I was like, okay, so let's not go that far. We can go to England then, or Scotland, even better because it's slightly cheaper. Yeah. Then she said she couldn't handle rainy and cold weather, so we couldn't go there. And I was like, okay, if you can't wear a sweater, then we can go somewhere else where English is the official language. So we agreed upon Malta. One of my friends had been there and he said it's amazing, the temperature is perfect, things like that. So I was like, okay, so we can move to Malta then. So the thing is, I tried saving up money, but this relationship was really toxic. She earned only slightly less than I did. And I have no idea what she had done with the money, but I paid for a lot of things, mostly for groceries, and that was fine because I said it was okay, but it was not okay, right? And then we broke up, and I was still with my previous company. I kind of liked it, but then things started to turn to shit. And I still had no money. And once she moved out, I had to start paying for the whole rental all alone, which was supposed to be fine, absolutely. And I thought everything would be fine. What I was not prepared for was the massive inflation, which is seriously crazy. I earn like almost triple the amount I earned back in 2018, and I literally can't really save up. So after that girlfriend, I had nothing for a while. I tried to save up, but thanks to the inflation, I couldn't really. And then, my last relationship really sealed it for me because she was like, yeah, okay, we can go. She actually does speak English, which is incredible. She was willing to move. I told her that her career would be acknowledged and valued in Scotland. And she was like, okay, yeah, we can do it. And I believed it. But I actually realized that she did not want to move. She was perfectly fine here in Hungary. And I let this go because she was the person who became my shelter, and I didn't want to move anymore. I felt like we could make it work here in Budapest. And I was like, yeah, okay, we can make it work. We can move in together once she finishes school, things like that. And we broke up. And now I have started saving up again. But thanks to the massive inflation, I'm technically nowhere. I would need a lot of money to move. Most probably, I will need work visa as well. Thanks, Brexit. And I will need to find a stable job. And it's scary. It's f***ing scary. I know that I would need to move alone. It's even scarier. But I have not given up yet. I still want to move, not because my existence is technically not acknowledged in my own country. I just feel like this mentality that most Hungarian people are carrying is something I just can't identify with. But even though I'm saying this, it's mostly about the older generations, partially my generation as well, unfortunately. But I see hope for future generations. Starting from Gen Z, I am very hopeful for the generation of the future. But I know that if I stay here, I'm going to lose my mind, most probably. And I don't want that. So, yeah, that is the story why I haven't moved yet. Do I want to move right now? Hell, yes, I do. I really do, but I will not be able to do that without money. By the way, if you want to support me, you can subscribe to my channel, give this video a big old thumbs up, just push it through the algorithm, push me to get monetized. That's also one way to support me because I will need each and every single pennies to move before I completely lose my mind. Anyway, guys, that's all about me for today. I think I did ramble enough. So, seriously though, if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot to me and it also helps. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.